My suit has 3 names sewn inside. One belongs to my wife who went her own way long ago. One to my ex-girlfriend whom I once hurt with my own hands. And the last to my father whose memory is slowly fading. I am afraid that one day I will forget them all. So I stitched their names close to my heart. Not long ago I was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. The doctor told me that I would gradually forget everyone and everything, but with treatment, the condition could be delayed. I stared at the medical report for a long time and finally gave up treatment. Because after my mother passed away, my father went insane. He remembered nothing at all, and my wife was only my wife in name. Our 5-year marriage had already fallen apart. My ex-girlfriend was about to marry my brother. Thinking of all this, I lost every bit of will to live. After going home, I called my lawyer and asked him to draft an agreement, leaving me with nothing. He told me not to be impulsive, that by the normal divorce process, I could still get at least $50 billion in assets, but I shook my head. Because 5 years ago when I married her, I had nothing. She was the one who helped me through my hardest time. Now that we are separating, I just want to leave cleanly. Then I asked the lawyer to book 2 train tickets back to my hometown. When I was alone, I began to recall the past few years. 5 years ago, my mother died in an accident. That same year, my father had a mental breakdown and was diagnosed with dementia. That very night, the company's stock price crashed and huge debts buried me. My ex-girlfriend was hit by a car on her way to meet a partner. I begged for help to pay her medical bills, but no one lent me money. Only my wife offered to help, but on one condition, that I marry her. I thought it was love rekindled. But after we married, every night she brought a different man home. All of them looked just like her college first love. That was when I finally understood I was only a replacement. But what I could not understand was why she chose to marry me instead of using some crueler revenge. Yet misfortune did not stop there. I found my memory starting to break apart. I often forgot things. And after a checkup, I learned I had the same illness as my father. But I told no one. I quietly packed my bags and bought my ticket to leave. The next day, the usually quiet hospital suddenly became lively. A rich heiress who donated $300 million had come to visit patients. When I turned around, it was my ex-girlfriend. She recognized me immediately and sneered, saying she never thought the once brilliant man would end up like this. I forced a calm smile, saying my marriage was happy and my life was stable, but she told me coldly that my wife was sleeping with other men every night while I slept alone. The next day, I handed in my resignation to the dean. He tried to persuade me to stay, but I just smiled faintly. When I walked out of his office, my brother stopped me. His expression was cold. He said he wanted to talk privately. I trusted him and led him back to my office. He looked at the jar of stars on my desk and laughed, saying he did not expect me to keep the gift from my ex-girlfriend. I explained that I never had the chance to return it and that now he could help me give it back. Then I turned to leave, but he suddenly threw the jar at me. I was shocked and quickly tried to pick up the fallen stars. Suddenly, my ex-girlfriend's voice came from the doorway. My brother picked up a shard of glass, cut his hand and pretended I attacked him. When she rushed in, he accused me of being jealous. She glared at me with disgust, calling me shameless, but I only bent down and picked up the stars one by one that night. In the hospital, I wrote